So Drew McIntyre is our new WWE Undisputed Champion. What now? Look, you're already here. Hit that subscribe button. We had a new champion last night. Not a lot of people were expecting it. I feel like no one thought that Drew McIntyre was going to win this. No one thought that Cody Rhodes would drop this title this close to WrestleMania. But I did. I called it. I called every step of this. I called Jacob Fatu coming back. I called Jacob Fatu attacking Cody Rhodes and that allowing Drew McIntyre to leave the cage. I called this. Check the tape. A lot of people are going to say that they said it beforehand. I don't care. I did. This guy right here, the guy you're watching on YouTube, the guy you should subscribe to now because I get everything right. I called it. But what now? WWE was in Scotland, I think today, and we saw Drew McIntyre come out, the crowd just like give him the ovation that he deserves, him addressing the crowd, talking about finally getting the respect that he deserves. And that scares me a little bit. It scares me because I feel like this is the only reason WWE did this. It feels like they wanted Drew to go to Scotland as a champion, get the standing ovation, get the cheers, and maybe he'll drop it next. So the thing that gives me a little bit of poise, is that the word? The thing that gives me a little bit of calm, that gives me a little bit of hope. That's the word I'm looking for. The thing that gives me a little bit of hope is that I don't think he'll have another defense, or I don't think he'll defend this title, period, between now and the Royal Rumble. We know that there are these qualifying matches between now and Saturday night's main event, then we'll have a fatal four-way. And the winner of this will face the Undisputed Champion, which is now Drew McIntyre, at the Royal Rumble. So we know that Drew will at least hold it for, 3 weeks now? Great. And he's not going to drop it to Cody Rhodes. So there's that. As to who I think that opponent will be, as I look through the 8 people that they've chosen to be in these qualifying matches, and I have the paper in front of me, so I'm going to look down for a second. Don't leave just because I'm looking down. Right? Don't. I'm doing this for you, so don't leave just because I'm looking down. We got Randy Orton versus The Miz. We got Matt Cardona versus Trick Williams. We have Damian Priest versus Solo Sikoa. Sami Zayn versus Ilja Dragunov. Great. Let's go from least likely to most likely. Solo Sikoa didn't even ask for a title shot. Like, we had segments of most people on this list on last night's Smackdown. I'm recording this on Saturday. You're probably watching this on Sunday, but on Friday's Smackdown, asking for a title shot, saying that they want a title shot, saying that the next thing to do is to get a title shot. Solo wasn't one of those. Solo is currently feuding with Uncle Howdy and the White Six. He's not winning this. So let's check Solo off the list. The Miz is another one that hasn't really been in the title picture, hasn't been feuding for any title, hasn't been winning. I can't remember the last time The Miz won. So I don't think he's the one that comes out of this as the number one contender. Damian Priest, all right, he just had that feud with Aleister Black. He is a former world champion. I just don't see them giving this to him. Also, let's not forget, whoever gets this match doesn't go into the Rumble. Which is why I don't think that Trick's winning it either. I would love for them to give it to Trick, but I think we want to see Trick in the Rumble. I think we're probably going to get a moment in the Rumble between Trick and Melo. Even if it's just in passing, we're going to see a moment between Trick and Melo. I don't think Matt Cardona will win it either. Ilja Dragunov, maybe, as far as dark horses are concerned, Ilja Dragunov is probably the dark horse. Sami Zayn and Randy Orton are honestly the top 2 frontrunners for this match. Because everyone has been kind of saying, right, it's the Saudi Rumble, so Sami Zayn's going to win the Saudi Rumble But what if instead at the Saudi Rumble we get a champion Sami Zayn? That'd be crazy. That'd be cool. However, I do think that the front runner to face Drew McIntyre at the Rumble for the title is going to be Randy Orton. And we've seen Randy versus Drew before, and let's see it again. Now, of course, we have Jacob Fatu waiting in the back of this whole thing. I do think that Jacob Fatu is going to be wanting a title shot. I think that he's going to get a title shot, but when? Honestly, after what I saw on Friday Night SmackDown, Jacob Fatu is now my front runner to win the Rumble. I think that at the Rumble, I think it's going to be a triple threat match, and I don't know how they get there, but I think that at the Rumble, we get Drew McIntyre versus Jacob Fatu versus Cody Rhodes. And I want to see a champion Jacob Fatu. I don't know how they get there, but I think this is what this is setting up. I think Drew is going to ask for his rematch because, he's QB1, all that stuff he's been talking. He's going to ask for his rematch. Jacob Fatu doesn't have justification for getting a match, but he does if he wins the Rumble. So I think that what WWE is setting up for, and I know that they had been talking about Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes Part 3. But I also think that WWE sometimes puts out spoilers like that, puts out, like speculations like that. They're the ones that feed like all the wrestling rags and all that. I do feel like sometimes they're the ones that like leak this is the plan for WrestleMania to see how people react. And I don't think too many people were up for a Cody versus Roman 3. I definitely wasn't. We've seen it before. I don't need to see it again. It was great when it happened, and I'm past it. So I do think that what WWE is setting up for instead is Drew McIntyre versus Cody Rhodes versus Jacob Fatu. And tell me that's not a banger. Tell me that match doesn't win match of the night. What an absolutely amazing match that would be. And we can get all sorts of shenanigans because, triple threat rules and all that. And maybe, just maybe, this is where WWE finally pulls the trigger and we get a heel Cody Rhodes. Now, the other person that immediately comes to mind, considering all the video packages that we've been seeing lately, is Oba Femi. I have been pushing for more star power on SmackDown, more potential champions, more potential WWE champions on SmackDown. However, I think Oba Femi is now going to Monday Night Raw. I don't think that he will be in the Undisputed title picture anytime soon. I do think he'll be in the World Championship picture for sure. And he's winning something. Chamber, something. Because the way they're pushing him, as they should, by the way, he's winning something. Also, we had that match between him and Cody Rhodes already, right? So I don't know. I think, especially considering how well SmackDown is doing, which, holy hell, right? I never thought I'd say that. SmackDown is the better of the two shows right now. Granted, we've had 3 shows in 2026. That Monday Night Raw wasn't bad. It just wasn't great. But both of these SmackDowns so far have been absolutely great. And I hope that they can keep this momentum. But I think that both Oba Femi and Monday Night Raw as a whole could benefit from him being there instead of SmackDown. I mean, they've already basically said, here are our 8 main eventers for Friday Night SmackDown, right? They got Randy Orton. Apparently Matt Cardona's the main eventer now. Hell yeah, let's do that. Trick Williams has come in hot. They're absolutely pushing him on the main event scene. They're not wasting him on the mid card. Damian Priest, I think they're trying to do that push again with Damian Priest. It wasn't super great the first time around, but I'm willing to give it a shot. But let's do it as a heel. Damian Priest is better as a heel. Solo Sikoa, all right, he's a filler in this match. I'll give you that. Sami Zayn, yes. Ilja Dragunov, he's had his run with the U.S. Championship. I think they're seeing what happens, pushing him on the main event scene. So, yeah. Would Oba Femi benefit SmackDown, the SmackDown roster? Absolutely. Oba Femi would benefit if he lived next door to me. I would benefit from Oba Femi. Like, Oba Femi benefits any room he's in. He's Oba Femi. But I think that the whole CM Punk versus Vision thing that's happening on Monday Night Raw would benefit from an Oba Femi just presence, right? Even if he's not directly involved with this picture, knowing that he's there and knowing that eventually he will be going after that title is good enough for me. Because honestly, who else do you have on Monday Night Raw right now that could go after CM Punk's title? I don't know. I don't have anyone else. So I think right now, the way these titles stand, the way everything's playing out, and just talking about the men's side right now. We'll talk about the women's side later as we get closer to the Rumble, and I need a video topic. So right now we're just going to talk about the men's side. I think that my two front runners right now to get those WrestleMania matches, so to win the Rumble and to win the Elimination Chamber, because those are the people that get the WrestleMania matches, are Jacob Fatu wins the Rumble and Oba Femi wins the Elimination Chamber. Or vice versa, honestly. It doesn't really matter. But I do think that those are the two people that WWE is pushing to the main event with a rocket. I mean, Oba Femi, you don't do those video packages for him to come in and be fighting for the IC title or the US title. You don't have him win and defend the NXT champion on his the NXT title on his last match on NXT and then leave just vacating the title. Not even dropping it to someone. He just vacates it after he successfully defends his title. So, Oba Femi to get a title match at WrestleMania, and Jacob Fatu to get the other title match at WrestleMania. Now, I do think the one on SmackDown will probably be a triple threat match, will probably involve Cody Rhodes. I don't hate it. Maybe the one on Raw as well. I'm not convinced that these are just going to be two one-on-one matches, because there's more interesting things that could happen. Can you imagine a CM Punk, Roman Reigns, and Oba Femi match at WrestleMania? It makes me mumble. Yeah. Anyway, those are just some thoughts I had on my head today. I mean, I feel like Drew McIntyre winning this title has really opened up a whole lot of possibilities for WWE. It is very interesting because even though he's the smaller man, the idea of Cody Rhodes losing his title is a lot more unrealistic than Drew McIntyre losing his title. Right? Like if Cody Rhodes were still champion after that match with Drew McIntyre, I'd say that there's a 0% chance of him losing it between now and WrestleMania. But Drew McIntyre being the champion, who knows? They might put it on him for a month and then he drops it at the Rumble. I don't know. But it's very interesting. It's very intriguing. The way WWE has just shuffled everything over these last 2 weeks. We've had over the last 3 weeks, let's say 4 weeks, I don't remember when the U.S. title was won. Over the last 4 weeks, we've had a new men's U.S. champion, a new women's U.S. champion, a new women's IC champion, new women tag team champions, new men tag team champions on Raw, and a new WWE Undisputed Championship. That is crazy. That is unheard of, and I absolutely love it. Anyway, since you made it this far, make sure to drop a like. Let me know in the comments what you think of all this. Let me know if you like how WWE has just shuffled these titles, because I do. I am here for it. And I can't wait to see where this takes us. It feels like WrestleMania season already, and this is where things start getting good. Like that whole December always drags, man, and it felt less draggy because of John Cena's whole thing, but man, does that always drag. But things are starting to ramp up and things are getting exciting. Anyway, Let me know what matches you want to see at WrestleMania. Let me know who you think will win the Rumble. Let me know who you think will win the Elimination Chamber. Since you made it this far, though, make sure to drop a like. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe. Hit up one of my other videos. They're a lot of fun. I'm sure you'll like at least one of them. If you don't have a wrestling guy, I'd love to be that wrestling guy for you. But anyway, as always, until next time, have a nice day.